The Muppets are back in a brand new show up on Disney+. I just watched the third episode, and I'm here once more to break it all down and let you know what I think, so I hope you'll join me once more after the intro. Well, hello there! My name's Jeremy and welcome back to Freeform Disney, where I talk about all aspects of Disney, from the animated movies to the theme parks to Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar, and the TV shows, and everything else in between. And that is why it's Freeform. And keep coming back every day for new daily content. If you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Today we're continuing to watch the new show Muppets Now. The third episode is titled Getting Testy, and that means the sections between the sketches will all be themed around having audience testing for the show. So straight into all the spoilers, it's time to break down episode 3. There are a few pieces to the whole audience testing. We've got good old Statler and Waldorf, and they're the big pieces here. And they certainly have some fun lines and some fun interactions, and I laughed a little. And while it was fun to have them in, I wish they'd been used more during the episode. I just felt they were a little underutilized. And hey, another thing we've got this cool little bottom news sticker with little tidbits scrolling across. So if you pause it at different points during the episode, you might catch a few of those. So you got things like families eating half mushroom, half pepperoni pizza are split. Just funky little things like that. Or even nice references like 54% wonder why there are so many songs about rainbows. Wonder if they'll find that rainbow connection. It was just a nice bit of extra fun in the episode that I really enjoyed. Just these tiny little Easter eggy kind of tidbits. And hey, with that out of the way, let's just jump right into those 4 sketches for the episode. So first up this time is Okey cooking. Now you'll have to forgive me. I know lots of people utterly love this section, but my first reaction on seeing that title card was a bit of a groan. There are many sections I've been enjoying more, and I'd prefer to have them repeated rather than getting a weekly Okey cooking. But I digress. How was this one? Well, the funny part here is it's actually my favorite of the bunch so far. Chef Roy Choi was a guest today, and Beverly Plume, our host, had the hots for our guest chef big time, and that was probably the main running joke of the sketch. And frankly, the two of them were a ton of fun to watch. I thought they gelled well, and it just worked. The Swedish chef actually was not given much to do, and that was the joke of this one, as they seem to acknowledge just how bad he is at cooking this time around. But he does still get some good puns in, like he's got the bull, or the bull, just depending on how you pronounce that word, which then proceeds to start munching on his bowl of dry rice. Yeah. Good times. And hey, the salsa dancing to close it out was definitely fun as well. And then, hey, it's off to Joe the lawyer because we have Muppets Lab field test coming up next. And this was actually the second time seeing Joe the lawyer this episode, as he started the episode by telling Scooter that he would have to participate in the Testatron audience testing, which would be #fun, not fun. Now, this time, he's here to provide a word from the lawyer before the good old science episode. And that word is, don't. Now, I admit, I laughed. Whole paying him by the word, so it was a fun joke. Enjoyed that one, definitely. Well, on to Bunsen and Beaker, and we bring in lots of pizza. Because we're going to be flinging pizza after pizza and ingredients to show some of how velocity works. Al the pizza guy, and now the pizza intern, although I gotta say, paid very poorly right there, as the charge was apparently well over $100, and you see Bunsen giving him a few ones from Beaker's wallet. Which was a nice little multi-layered joke that amused me. Now as for slamming stuff against the wall, well, that was enjoyable, of course. Who doesn't love tossing pizzas against a wall? Well, actually, no, I think I'd prefer to eat the pizzas. Which the episode did make me want to eat stuff. Yeah, pizza. I could go for a pizza right now. Although last week's burning and melting was more fun than throwing pizzas against a wall, I'll have to admit. And as always, poor Beaker. Well, with that, we're on to the third sketch. And this is the 3rd edition of Lifestyle. And it's all about relationships this time. We've got multiple different pieces in there. We've got Miss Piggy being Miss Piggy. Hey, she loves spontaneity. Well, not anything. Really, being spontaneous on things she wants people to be spontaneous on, right? Gonzo makes a quick appearance there to get his act together. Yeah, Still looking forward for Gonzo to have a much bigger section somewhere in the future. Still looking for it. Hasn't happened yet. But much of this one here for Lifestyle this week is references to Miss Piggy and Kermit's relationship. And there are a ton of references sitting in there. And while we're winking at it earlier on, we get into the final section in the chat section, and we connect in both Kermit and Beaker to join Miss Piggy and Linda Cardellini for it. And Kermit gets super uncomfortable and finds all kinds of ways to try to get off the call, which fail in quite amusing ways. And yeah, just a ton of fun. Loved that. Oh, and also poor Beaker over there, who apparently seemed to have some kind of emergency in the lab that was building up, and there was this huge explosion on his end at the end. It's like, oh, poor Beaker. Always got to be something. Well, and to finish it all off, we've got the last sketch of this episode, and we're off for the 2nd edition of Pepe's Unbelievable Game Show. And it's on to some zany fun with Pepe the King Prawn. I enjoyed the guest stars we had this time definitely much better. Especially Nico, she just did a great job in this one. We had a lightning round to start off with the most inane questions you could imagine. Like, hey, what temperature is the room? Amongst a heck of a bunch of random other things. We had a makeup challenge in there. And to cap off the makeup challenge, where they were basically adding makeup to each other's faces or their own faces, Miss Piggy was brought in to judge. And she certainly judged them. And that was a load of fun, too. I mean, dang, those two guests looked a little crazy afterward, shall we say. And then, thankfully, as I was a bigger fan of Nico out of the two, Nico's the one that went off to the bonus round. And she got to go ahead and play it with Big Mean Carl. We got to bring him in, and that was a ton of fun. Loved it. So the whole thing was having to reach down into Big Mean Carl's mouth and figure out what the secret prize was, which was a phone. And we had a whole gag there with Big Mean Carl's mother, too. But then the extra piece to cap off the whole thing ended is, well, Scooter heads off to go validate Nico's parking. And Big Mean Carl says, hey, how about double or nothing? Yeah, just stick your whole head in my mouth and look down in there. You can kind of guess where that one went. Oh, we have one less person around now. Big Mean Carl got a good meal out of it. Oh, it was a good ending. And heck, it was a zany episode, and yeah, it fired much better this time. Really enjoyed it. And hey, with that, there you have it. That was this episode of Muppets Now. And dang, as I said before, this was definitely my favorite episode yet. I thought it was the best take on Okie Dokey cooking so far, my favorite lifestyle sketch, and my favorite for Pepe's Unbelievable Game Show. And I always love me some Bunsen and Beaker. So this episode caused me to laugh probably at least as much as the previous 2 episodes combined. And that leaves me definitely waiting to see next week's episode. Here's hoping it gets me to laugh, say, as much as this week's, or close to it, let's say. So tell me, what about you? What was your favorite segment this time? And which character do you think has hammed it up best so far over these few episodes? And no, that's not a dig at Miss Piggy. Well, let me know down below in the comments. And thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Please give it a like, share with anyone you think will too, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it already. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another new episode of Freeform Disney. Have a magical day, and may the Force be with you always.